If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video with yet more players revealed. 5-star skillers included in some of the younger players. Of course, the two on screen we already knew about, Trent and Mbappe. Yesterday, I think I released what the ratings should have been. Now, I didn't get as far as Trent because I only did the first up until, 88 rated players. But I think Mbappe could have been 91 rated. Either way, still going to be a very expensive card, no doubt. And of course, Trent should be one of the more expensive right backs. Although, having said that, looking at his card, I don't think it'll be one of the more desirable ones because his pace isn't like crazy good. It's not 90 plus, so I think people might be a little bit like, well, it's not the best right back I can get, even if he is the highest rated. Moving down the list, of course, we knew about these already. De Ligt keeping his 85, Sancho's an 87. Many people speculating that if he had moved to Manchester United before the ratings come out, he would have been like an 89, 90 rated card. I agree with that. Kai Havertz 85 after yesterday's performance. It wouldn't surprise me if EA downgrade him. I'm joking. It's only one game. He's going to need time to adapt. I'm not of the previous mindset. I am fully in the camp of he is a great player. He's still very young, and he will come good. And people need to calm down just because he had one off game doesn't mean he's a bad player. People need to calm down. Donnarumma still 85. Haaland up. He's one of the most improved players as well. EA released a list of most improved, like biggest growth, and Haaland was one of them. Odegaard gets an 83, and of course he's gonna. I think this is one of his first ever cards since like actually starting to play well as a gold card, playing for Real Madrid. I remember he had like a silver card years ago when he was before he went out on loan from Real Madrid, but this year he looks like he's going to stay, so there we go. We've got Hakimi. Don't agree with his position. He's not a right mid, he's a right back, but it is what it is. I mean, I know he can play right mid, but doesn't he play... Well, then again, did he play right back? I think he played right mid, actually, for Dortmund. See, he's one of those Guerrero-type players, right? And this is why Ultimate Team needs to improve, and it needs development, because it's the same as Alphonso Davies to a degree as well, right? So you look at those two cards, and Hakimi's a right mid, but can play right back. And Davies is a left back, but can play left mid and left wing. So how good would it be, and how much would it make sense if they could play both positions with chemistry? You know, in real life, Bale can play on the wing. He can play on the other wing. He can play as a striker. And yet in FIFA, he can only play as a right wing. Hakimi can only play right mid. He can't play as a right back. It doesn't make any sense. There needs to be more than one position. Like career mode. Career mode has more than one position. Kubo, for example, can play right wing, centre mid, and cam. And yet in FIFA, he's just a right wing. So it doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. But either way, they look like pretty decent cards. João Felix is, I mean, he is what he is. I mean, he looks all right, but he doesn't look as good as Pulisic, who is a non-rare. I don't understand that, but he's going to be very good for like starter squad builders, Pulisic. You'll see him all over the place. Moving down, Diaby, another one of those that will be very good for starter squad builders. Ferran Torres will be decent if you can play him in the middle. I wouldn't really want to be playing him on the wing. I say decent. I'd rather have Diaby in my team than Ferran Torres, but it is what it is. Vinicius Jr, he will be in a squad that I'm going to reveal to you in a little bit. He's, of course, a 5-star skiller. Mason Mount looks okay, reasonably well-rounded. Upamecano looks like a very good centre-back. Again, one of those very cheap and cheerful French centre-backs. There's so many in the game this year. Diallo, Kimpembe, Upamecano, and then there's like 3 or 4 more that I could name that I may or may not show you in just a minute. Rodrigo looks decent. Again, 79 rated. I'm not sure if he has 5-star skills, though. Can't remember. We'll have a look at the 5-star skill list in a second. So there's another 2 French centre-backs, Koundé and Zagadou. Zagadou is a little bit on the slow side with 59 pace, but if you give him the right chem style, you should be fine. And then, of course, the Sevilla centre-back, he is going to be pretty damn decent, I would imagine. He's got the sort of slightly better dribbling, well, much better dribbling, actually, than Zagadou. And he's got that pace, which is nice. Phil Foden, Is what it is. Man City fans, I like him, I'm sure. And Simon looks okay. Pace-wise, he looks decent anyway. Isaac looks alright, to be fair, considering he's a 79 rated non-rare. Kamara, well, least said about that, the better. And then Declan Rice. Let's have a look at the 5-star skills. Let's go back to the top of the list here. I was scrolling through them a second ago. So, of course, we have Ronaldo, we have Neymar. We've got Mbappe, we've got Di Maria, Sancho, Firmino. None of these are new. Pogba, Thiago, Mahrez, Depay, Ziyech, Rashford. I think they're all 5-star skillers. Douglas Costa, Ibrahimovic, Marcelo, and Zaha. I think Wilfred Zaha was 5-star skills, correct me if I'm wrong. Martin Odegaard and Coutinho. I really, really like the look of that Coutinho card as a cam. I think he'll be relatively cheap. You know, in previous FIFAs, he has been higher rated and he has been maybe 40, 50k at the very beginning of the game. But that 83 should be cheaper than Odegaard, I would imagine. Moving down, Dembele. Again, still going to be one of those cards with a 5-star, no doubt. With pace, great dribbling. And of course, you've got Quincy Promes now as a central character. That looks good. Really good pace, decent shooting, pretty good dribbling, good enough short passing. I like it. Marlos and Salvia, two players that you won't see an awful lot from many people as the leagues aren't great. But, well, and Marlos' nation is absolutely horrendous when it comes to links for chemistry. But they look like they are capable players. Marlos, more of a central player now that he's lost his pace. Salvio looks useful. And in the early stages, again, or maybe off the bench, you could see this guy a lot. Jeff Felix, we've already looked at. Shaqiri doesn't have legs, so there's no point. Quadrado looks decent for a right back. Again, his defensive stats are a little bit lacking, but should be fine for a fullback. You don't really need to know how to defend as a fullback in FIFA. Ribery, as a cam, could be okay, could be good. 5-star skills, of course. Every single one of these players, 5-star skills. Nani doesn't have pace, and he is in the wrong position, which is a shame, but I'm sure he'll get some sort of flashback card, as he always does. Vinicius Jr. is only 80 rated, but he does have really good dribbling and insane pace, so I would imagine he'll be quite expensive at the very beginning, but should come down quite quickly. Him and Rodrigo, I mean, you can make a nice Real Madrid sandwich there, couldn't you? We'll talk about that. David Nerez, going to be one of those players that is used an awful lot. I think as is Bernadeschi in the very beginning, because that is a very good card. Good dribbling, good passing, decent pace, not too bad shooting. As a cam, fantastic. David Nerez, non-rare. He won't command a high price, but he does look like he could be quite useful. St. Maximin, we know he's going to be expensive at the very beginning. Just the way it goes. Gelson Martins, I think will be quite cheap actually, but for some reason, like if you compare those two cards, I don't know. I mean, if you compare them, Gelson Martins is on par, if not maybe a little bit better, really. Because he's got that better shooting, he's got better defensive stats. Do you really care about that? I suppose heading, maybe. No, maybe he's not better, but he's on par. So it'll be interesting to see the price difference between those. I'd imagine St. Maximin's going to be crazy priced. Moving on to El Shiraway, again, a non-rare. Doesn't really have much going for him anymore. Doesn't have the league. His dribbling has dropped. His passing's dropped. Piatti looks absolutely dreadful. Centurion, he, of course, was a Sudamericana card last season. They are still in the game, as you're about to find out. Harrit in there doesn't look particularly great because his passing is quite low. Hernani looks decent, considering he's only 76 rated. Balassi doesn't have legs anymore. Moreno looks, for a 75 rated card, that's not bad, you know. 84 dribbling, 89 pace. Evander did have a good card in FIFA 20, but it was like the special card. It was like a team of the season card. And there you go. Libertadores cards confirmed for FIFA 21. Some silver cards. Maxim, McGeady. They always get them. Mackay Steven. And of course, the very final player is Ryan Shirky. Keep an eye on this guy in real life. If you don't know an awful lot about him, he's like 16 years of age and he gets game time for Lyon. Keep an eye on him. He is going to be a big, big thing. Now, let's have a look at the team that I've built. I'm not going to like build it one by one. I'm just going to straight up reveal. Here we go. So this is a kind of team I think you could build very early on. Now, Zagadou might be a player that you actually want to consider changing out, and you can definitely get away with switching him for a fair few players actually. But for the time being, we'll keep him in there. If you give him an anchor, I'm sure you'll get by with the pace. Akanji's pace looks good. He's now down to a 78 rated as opposed to 83, which means he's going to be much, much cheaper. And then, of course, Schultz is only 80 rated now. I think, was he 82 in the current FIFA 20? I'm not sure. Berkey 84. You could go with, is it Hits? The sub Dortmund goalkeeper for the time being if you want to try and build this at the very beginning of the game. It's not going to be one of those teams you can build straight away. Like, play a couple of games, maybe put 400 FIFA points in and you could build this. No, it's not going to be that. You're going to have to play a little bit because we've got Valverde. I need to learn how to say his name because he looks like a really good player that I'm going to be using a lot in FIFA 21. Is it Valverde? Not sure. And Odegaard, Marcus Llorente, Bale, Coutinho, and Vinicius Jr. All the front six. They are going to cost a pretty penny. I would imagine Jesus Navas will as well, actually. Very early days. So it's not going to be the cheapest team in the world, but it's not up there with the best teams in the world you could build. I'm really interested to use Coutinho. That's why he's in there. Not that I think he'll be a great striker. Maybe I'll want to move him back a little bit and play Valverde a little bit further forward because he's got that pace. We can improve that passing. But that is the type of team you're going to be able to build in FIFA. And we don't have the full database yet. We're getting dribs and drabs here or there. While you're watching this, we might have the full database. There are rumours that it's going to be released today. So by the time you're watching this, they may have just released it. And in which case, you can expect to see a lot of squad builders from me coming up. But I am looking forward to trying out some of these players. A lot of really nice sort of fringe players this season. Last year, Vinicius Jr was okay, but not as good as he is there. Coutinho was, I think he's worse this year, but he should now be more affordable. Same with Gareth Bale. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this FIFA for more than anything just to try players that you couldn't really use last year to see, hopefully, if they're usable this year with the meta. If you have enjoyed this video, whatever it may be, then do me a favour and hit that like button. Let me know if you could pick one player from the skiller list that you've seen today to go into your team, what player would it be? And you can't have Ronaldo, Neymar, or Mbappe because that's just, I mean, let's be honest, we'd all choose one of those three. So you can't have Ronaldo, Neymar, or Mbappe, but you can have anyone else from the five-star skill list. Let me know in the comments, who would you pick? I've got a funny feeling everyone's going to say Sancho, but his pace is a little bit abysmal, so maybe not. People might go for Pogba, don't know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and here, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.